So making a little weapon tier list real quick on it. And, so let's go through this. I don't know how to edit or anything. I'm not really good at making YouTube videos, but we'll just go through the special like through the list of everything. Right now, I think light pretty much only runs cloaking device in like any level of play. With the exception of if you want to be a sniper or use the LH1. Then you might run grapple, but like I don't know, I just don't see a whole lot of reason. Every light I see play the game on every level, pretty much always running cloaking device. Evasive dash is just pretty much god awful. It might have a niche with like the double barrel with evasive dash, but that's the only time I've seen it be even remotely good on any level. Grappling hook, like I said, just if you're running sniper or H1, it can be good for like repositioning real quick, getting to those weird angles, far away angles really quickly, getting off fights really quickly. I still think it needs two charges. I don't think one charge is enough for the grappling hook to really compete with cloaking device in any situation. But dagger, I've seen some people go crazy with this. I use it in the beta a little bit. I mean, it feels to me like the shotgun does everything the dagger does, but the shotgun, is not a melee weapon, so you're not stuck only in melee range. But you get some crazy one shots with a dagger. Don't see it used a whole lot, but you go crazy. LH1 got a pretty big buff in the last patch, and I've seen it actually go pretty crazy. Like as like a mid range, kind of like playing rooftop weapon, poking objective. I don't know. Only two. I added like two damage to it. You see 45, now it does like 47. I've seen one guy go crazy with it, but I don't know. I think if you're playing mid range, if you want to play a mid range fighter class, I feel like you should just be playing medium to begin with. Like all of Light's options for like mid to long range just don't feel nearly as strong. Like, I mean, anything they do, the F car could realistically do a lot better from mid range, I feel like, on medium and have a lot more team utility from a mid range perspective. But yeah, M11 and MP5 are pretty much the two bread and butters of light right now. Pretty much the same gun, essentially. Like the M11, just your more like close range only kind of gun. Like it's not going to be nearly as effective at a mid range fight as the MP5 can be. But the M11 did just get a buff in the last patch to make it like a little bit stronger than close range than the MP5. Not by much. They added like one damage to it, I think, or something, and it just makes it slightly because I mean before the patch they were pretty much just like the same gun, but the MP5 had a little better range. Double barrel I think is definitely the strongest thing on light right now. Like if you're going to like play light exclusively, I'd definitely pick up the double barrel and put in some work mastering it because it is just absolutely insane right now. The only gun in the game that can effectively like one shot heavies if you land every shot. Sniper's been I've seen people. I mean, it can be good with like I said with the grappling hook, like landing a good headshot, grappling out, and just playing range. I think the problem with snipers and every like mid-range weapon right now is just the map design is just not really designed for like mid-long range fights. Like it's pretty rare that most every cash out's gonna end up like coming down to a close range fight. And you need to be on the point to actually defend against the heavy with mesh shield and everything and the bubbles and everything. And just being long range in most situations isn't going to cut it with just how the map is, except for like this couple of cash outs that are like in the open field on Monaco or whatnot. But that's a pretty rare exception to that rule. Sword, I mean, it's good in situations. It's just like melee weapons in this game, I just don't understand what they're trying to be. Like my ideal dream was like every class had a melee weapon at all times. They had like a primary weapon and melee weapon. It's just too situational. Like you will go crazy and get some triple kills sometimes, but then a lot of times you'll just get beamed before you can ever get close by guardian turrets and everything, and just have no way to get around it. Throwing knives actually might be pretty slept on. I mean, it's like the most damage you can do in a single peek from range as a light. So if you're playing like a jiggle peek or something, where you're like coming around the corner, peeking, throwing two knives, getting back behind cover, I mean, it could be kind of insane, but I haven't seen it utilized well yet. And I've played a lot of hours, like way too many hours in this game. So where is that at? I have 5 days of playtime. I have in a gross excessive amount of playtime and all that time. Never seen anybody really use throwing knives to their full potential, but I definitely think we will get there at a point and see lights actually go crazy with that. B95 is kind of like your option, like pretty much all lights are running M11, MP5, or pistol, even though I feel like they should all be running shotgun. It just seems like most lights. The only times I really see lights like effectively helping their team a ton is when they're using the shotguns, but V95 is just like alternative to MP5 and M11. It's pretty much unusable if you can't get the max fire rate out of it. So the only time I've seen it like really go crazy is when you have like a custom controller that has like the triggers that you can get the maximum fire rate at. I've been trying to use my mouse with like two triggers, two fingers on the trigger to like double tap and like I don't know. It's just weird because like most people are just not able to click fast enough to get the full potential out of the gun. But if you have like a custom controller or something, you could definitely go at. I definitely think this gun's insane. If you can somehow get to the maximum fire rate, maybe I'm just slow at clicking and I just am not capable of doing it. But it's definitely the most strong. Like you can most damage you can do per clip on any gun in the whole light tree or light family. I mean, so you can effectively probably kill a whole team pretty easily if you're landing headshots with this gun, unlike pretty much every other gun light has. And already covered the MP5, pretty much the same as the M11, just more mid-range effective version of it. That you know someone's 20 yards away, you can actually put out some damage on them, unlike the M11, which just has an obscene recoil pattern that you're probably not going to be hitting too many mid-range shots. Um, I'm not really gonna go over gadgets just because it's so, The only thing I'll say is if you're playing light, please, for the love of God, bring stun gun and glitch grenades. That's the only time you're really helping your team and not just getting one shot over and over is if you're glitch grenading the mines on site or the turrets on site, getting rid of bubbles and stuff. It's an absolute must that if you want to be a light player, you need to learn how to use glitch grenades because I mean, they're huge for your team. I definitely think a good light that's throwing glitch grenades, as much as everybody might hate on light a lot for just not being very helpful, that's the not like the most help you can be to your team. I mean, if you're glitch grenading their heavy and they can't mesh shield anymore or bubble, then you effectively win most fights and like ranked or like high level of play. I mean, and but yeah, stun gun and glitch grenades. The only time I really touch about gadgets. Stun gun is just your bread and butter as light. I mean, they just buffed it to 12 meters away, and now you can hit it from way further than I think a stun gun should be able to hit. But motion sensor can be really good too. I don't know. That's probably the last time I'm talking about gadgets. It's medium and heavy both have. I guess heavy doesn't have a lot of flexibility with their gadgets. You mostly see them running C4 and RPG at all times. Um, and medium specializations. The Guardian turret can be strong, unless you're the only medium on your team. I feel like it's pretty much a must that every medium should have a one healing beam on their team. I mean, if you're playing it like a serious level of play, I mean, you're gonna need a healer. I mean, that's pretty. If you've played Overwatch or played any game of this nature, I mean, you pretty much always need a healer on your team. But Guardian turret can be good, like a double medium. I've seen triple medium work with two healing beams and a Guardian turret. It can be good. Right now, my squad runs a healing beam, medium, a heavy, and one medium with recon senses. Because if you have somebody on your team that's like effectively calling out enemies' positions and stuff, and you're in comms and everything, recon senses is just wall hacks for your team. Just, I mean, it's amazing. But yeah, pretty much only really run it if you're in a double medium comp. For Guardian turret, recon sense only run if you're in a like actual pre-made squad where you got comms and everything. The AKMs and FCAR are like pretty much the same gun essentially, or not really. I mean they serve the same purpose. The FCAR is for the more accurate player, has a quicker time to kill by like 0.25 seconds. It only has 20 bullets instead of 36. It's so that's not gonna cut it in a lot of fights. If you're missing 5 bullets in a mag, then you're gonna miss out on a lot of kills. The AK has slightly higher fire rate, and they're very similar time to kills. It's like you're talking zero point 0.2 seconds. It's not a huge difference, but the FCAR will kill somebody quicker if you're not missing. The AKM's more for people that miss a couple shots here and there. So that's just kind of your call if you think you're a sharpshooter or not. Just sharpshooter, pick up FCAR. If you miss sometimes, just gotta remember that and pick the AKM. The grenade launcher, I was really slept on. You don't see a lot of people running it, but I think on a healing medium, like a medium that's exclusively healing their heavies a lot, it's the most damage you're gonna get firing for a second and then swapping back to your heal. So if you're just holding heal most of the game, I think it's really slept on that you can run grenade launcher, just to, like get a grenade out, swap back to your heal. When you don't need to heal anymore, just bust out a couple grenades and just swap back to heal. About the only time I think it's ever of a massive use. The shotgun's kind of like shotgun's weird. You can run it as long as you're not rolling healing beam. The thing with because if you're playing a medium, you want to play behind your team if you're healing. But if you're running either recon or guardian turret, the shotgun is actually insane. It does like 250 a shot if you don't miss any pellets at point blank. So one shot mediums, one shot lights. It's insane. The problem with it is just how medium plays and how most mediums are just stuck as healers. So you're never gonna be in a situation where you want to be in front of your heavy. So I don't know. Revolver's similar in the grenade launcher that if you're playing like a healing bot, you're just trying to like put one bullet out and swap back to the heals. I'm pretty certain I read a lot of places online. I think it's bugged right now where like some bullets are just not lining up with the iron sights. I've never like seen that confirmed by a dev or anything, but it definitely feels like it. It feels a little weird. Like every second shot just like is going not where you're aiming. Like, I mean, it might just be me being terrible, but I don't know. Feels very inconsistent, but it does a lot of damage. It's like the go-to like sniper weapon for medium if you want to play like mid-range fights exclusively. Riot Shield's just if you're trolling. I don't feel like I need to explain that more. Riot Shield is just Riot Shield from every game. If you just want to be that annoying dude with a Riot Shield, this is your bread and butter right here. And Charge and Slam is a direct counter to Mesh Shield. I need to explain that to a lot of people, but the one thing that counters Mesh Shield is Charge and Slam. Because freaking, if you just fucking charge in there and body slam them, I mean, the Mesh Shield does nothing for them. So I don't see enough people utilize that a lot, especially if you're in a double heavy comp. It's kind of hard to justify not playing Mesh Shield and like a serious comp. Um, and also Charge and Slam running like the flamethrower, the shotgun can be insane. If you're absolutely cracked with the shotgun, might be good to look in running Charge and Slam just so you can close the distance a lot easier, come through the wall, surprise people. Also, Goo Gun with flamethrower, very slept on. I feel like we will see some kind of person go crazy and learning how to like do goo gun plays where you just goo around somebody and flamethrower it because goo catches on fire when you shoot it with flame or pyro grenades. So I think it is a possibility. I've never really tried to learn how to do it, but it could be a really amazing strat to just learn how to goo gun an enemy team and then come in with a flamethrower and just catch them all on fire. Very possibly. It's also like, a lot of crazy things you can do with that. Building cover on cash outs, like coming at angles weird. You can like shoot it on the ground and build straight up in the sky. And it's just a fun thing to try. I've never really put any effort into it, but I do think Goo Gun could go insane. Possibly. I don't know. Yet to see anybody do it in all my time played, but and Mesh Shield's just like your bread and butter is heavy. Everybody, if you're playing the ranked and stuff, everybody's gonna be trolling, like yelling at you to play Mesh Shield no matter what. It's just kind of huge. You're the Reinhardt if you've played Overwatch of your team. You just hold shield. Your teammates can shoot through it. You can cover them while they're stealing cash outs. It's just amazing all around. And Flamethrower definitely needs a buff for sure. They nerfed it a little too hard from the beta. Don't see a lot of people run it too often. The range of it is just atrocious. You have like freaking 5 yards away. You can hit somebody, and any light or medium can just run out of the way. But it does have the advantage of it's very hard to shoot back at a flamethrower. Like when you're getting shooting flames everywhere and none of the enemies can see anything, it's kind of hard for them to kill you. It also kind of fucks your team pretty hard too when they can't see anything that's going on around the cash out. But it's it can be good in situations. It's just hard to justify running it over the shotgun with how insane the shotgun is. But if like I said, with Goo Gun flamethrower might be a slept on build. And Lewis gun M60s is like they seem to love doing this, but they're essentially very similar guns. The Lewis gun has less bullets, and Like on paper, the M60 is much better in every way. It's a higher fire rate, higher damage, bigger magazine, quicker time to kill, all that good stuff. But the Lewis gun just has a much easier spray pattern to control. Like infinitely, the M60 is just insane how bad the recoil is on trying to hit mid-range shots, even close range. It's just all over the place. If you really put the time down to learn how to like control the recoil, it's definitely probably the better gun, especially with like maybe I feel like they're gonna probably nerf the Lewis gun right now, just with how like easy the recoil is and how it's just shredding people from all ranges right now and a lot of ranked play. But I don't know, that's up in the air. Another one of those things, just if you are a sharpshooter and you want to learn the M60, that's definitely the better gun to do it. If you're just trying to get those free easy kills, Lewis gun's definitely easier. The grenade launchers, I don't really know what this is supposed to be because I've never. It's just so weird. The way the grenades have to bounce once before they explode makes them completely unusable in most ranged fights unless you really put the time in the master getting those bang shots in. But if you are playing like a strictly mesh shield build or you're just like a mesh shield guy, like I said, and then just pop a couple shots in this on the cash out, go back to your mesh shield, your bubble shields, it I might have a place in ranked, but I've never seen it used effectively in all the time I've played. Um, the shotgun's absolutely insane. They just had to nerf it in the last patch, which made it not a strict like it used to be strictly everybody had to run this on heavy or you're kind of trolling. But with the nerf, it's a lot more in line with the Lewis gun and M60. It's, your call. If you like a shotgun and want to shred people close range, it's amazing. Can go really crazy with charging slam. Just run in there and then shot him in the face. I'm pretty sure it's still one shots lates with a perfect shot. I know they nerfed the damage of each pellet by one. I haven't really played enough with the shotgun since the nerf to know for sure if it still consistently one hits lights, but I'm pretty sure it does from everything I've seen. Sledgehammer goes fucking crazy with charge and slam. You one shot like mediums and lights. I don't think it one shots mediums, but it just about does. I think it does like 240 damage with a right click, and you can just smash buildings down if you just want to destroy buildings and fucking troll people and bust holes in walls with charge and slam and destroy everything around you and get a bunch of kills. So I bet Sledgehammer is definitely a good option for you. But yeah, that's all. I know I'm don't know how to edit videos and stuff, but the first video I upload. But if you're watching, thank you. My name's Offense. I stream every day. I'm plat 3 right now. My grind for diamond. Um, Stop by the stream anytime, and if you have any questions about the game, I'd love to answer them. Thank you.